y'all, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be running through a makeup tutorial on this look that you see right here. I at first wanted this to kind of just be an easy peasy makeup tutorial, but then I got so excited with the eyes that it kind of turned into full glam. So that's what this makeup tutorial is all about. It is a talk through tutorial, so I hope that you guys are enjoying that. And let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so the first shade I'm going in with is this one right here. It's called Dawn. I've mentioned this previously in one of my more recent videos. The shade reminds me a lot of Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie. It just has a little bit more of a neutral tone to it. It's not quite as warm. So I'm going in with my Sigma E40 tapered blending brush just to buff this into my crease area. I really need to get some more Sigma brushes because they just are such good quality, and I love how even after I wash them, they still have like their same exact shape. They don't kind of like fan out. It's just really nice quality brushes. Obviously they are more on the pricey side, not like super expensive, but you know, they're probably medium price range, if that makes any sense. I'm taking this all the way to the inner corner and the outer corner as well. I want this to be super blown out, and I want it to go all the way to that inner corner. Now with a more precise blending brush, I'm going to be taking the shade right here. What's it called? New Wave. It's a really gorgeous kind of like mustard yellow color. And I will be applying that directly into my crease area. And I'm going to keep this one a little bit lower than where we put Dawn. So this one's gonna go directly into the crease. And we're still going to be using those windshield wiper motions. So just going back and forth. Again, we want to bring it all the way into that inner corner. Now I'm going back in with a little bit of that Dawn just to kind of buff these two shades together, making sure that there's no harsh lines. I really want this to be blown out as it goes up towards the brow bone. For all over the lid, I'm going to be going in with this shade right here. It's called Adorn. It's a really gorgeous kind of coppery metallic shade. I'm going to take a little bit of my PIXI Glow Mist just to spray onto my brush before I dig into the color. This is going to help make sure that it stays a little more metallic and it pops more than it would without any wetness on our brush. It also helps quite a bit with fallout. So if you have a shade you really love that has fallout, then I definitely recommend doing this step. Oh my gosh, look at this color. Oh, so pretty. So first I'm starting right on that lash line, trying to get down as much pigment, and then I'll slowly work my way up. Now I'm just really carving out my lid and bringing this to where those other shadows are that we laid down. Now on a really precise blending brush, I'm going to be going in with Roxy, which is kind of a darker version of New Wave. And it's a lot more peach, and it's definitely a lot more of a red undertone. New Wave is definitely more of that like orangey color. So I'm taking this on my small tapered blending brush. This is the E45 from Sigma. If you guys can tell, it is a lot smaller, and it really comes to that point right here. So that's kind of what we're wanting to go for, and I'm going to be taking some of Roxy and applying that directly into my crease, making sure that I don't have too much product on my brush because I don't want it to fall down. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of New Wave and a little bit of Dawn on my Morphe M441 brush just to kind of buff this out. Now I'm going in just a little tiny bit of Adorn, just making sure that it still pops where I want it to. Okay, so now I'm digging into this shade from my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit just to add a little bit of a highlight to the brow bone. I do this a lot whenever I am working with more smoky eyes because I want that space between the eyeshadow and the brow to really pop so that it looks more clean. For my combination of primer and my foundation, I am first taking the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I love this stuff whenever I need some more hydration. And then I'm also going to be taking the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation. I love this combination so much, especially in the wintertime whenever I tend to get more dry, because it's just hard for me to get a lot of moisture into my skin. Sometimes, even whenever I am drinking a ton of water, my skin just tends to, I don't know, like soak up everything, and then it looks like it still needs moisture. So this is my favorite combination at the moment for the hydration that I need in the winter time. In the winter time, I also tend to use a damp beauty sponge for my foundation application. It just tends to add a little bit more moisture, which is obviously how I've been ranting what I need in the winter time. So if you tend to use a brush but you do have dry skin, I recommend using a damp beauty sponge in the winter time. It'll just help to add a little bit of voluminosity to your foundation whenever you're first applying, and it helps your skin to really soak up the moisture. I just find it's useful for, oh my god, I just got this all over myself. Well, I just totally squirted foundation all over my vest that I was wearing, so I had to go and take care of that really quick because it is a suede, well, it's not actually suede, but it is like a suede-like material vest, and the foundation was like already sinking into it. So yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, it came out, but now it's like in the dryer. I'm actually going to hang out with my mom and my sister today. We're just gonna go and get some coffee and some lunch and do some work. So I definitely needed to get that out before we go. Now for my concealer, I'm just using a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Oh, I haven't used this stuff in so long and I love it. It's amazing. I really need to get a new tube because this one's like, I'm literally scraping at the bottom at this point. I love putting concealer on, especially whenever I have like a dramatic eye look like this. I just feel like it really starts to pull everything together and it just makes the face look a lot more complete, obviously. Before I finish up my eyes, I'm going to take a little bit of the middle shade in the light palette for some light contour. I don't want it to be too dark and too intense. I just want a little tiny bit of a shadow there. I always say this, but then it ends up being like a lot more dramatic than I intended. So we'll see how it turns out. Yeah, not too much. I'm also going to place a little bit around the temples of my forehead. This just kind of evens out the contour so it doesn't look like the only place that you have structure to your face is your cheeks. So I'm just lightly dusting some of that on around my temples and around my hairline. Okay, so now I'm going to be baking again. For today, I'm going to be baking underneath my eyes as well as underneath my contour. I'm making sure, obviously, not to go onto my contour, just putting it right above because I want this to be really blown out. The last time I did baking, it turned out really, really well, especially in the areas that I baked. It was like a lot more clean looking, so that's why I feel like it's really beneficial. Now I'm just going to find my little, where are you? My little brow duo. This is the Elizabeth Mott Queen of the Fill, and I'm just going to lightly apply this. I don't want them to be too dramatic. I don't like doing brows. It's literally my least favorite part of makeup it just, I don't know, it feels like a task to me. It's not fun. So that's why you like will rarely hear me talking about like new brow products and stuff. It's honestly just because I don't care. It's not anything about the companies or whatever. It's just I do not care about brow products. They're just not fun for me. I just do it to kind of complete the makeup look. To finish off the eyes, I'm taking a little bit of Honeydew Cream Gel Liner from Colourpop. This is really going to help make sure that the eyes look open and bright and awake. And obviously I'm putting this into my waterline. Now I'm going to take a tiny little bit of New Wave as well as Roxy, those kind of like orangey red colors, and I'm going to apply that to the lower lash line. Okay, so now I'm going to be dusting away that baking using my Real Techniques contour brush. Oh my gosh, it just gives such a smooth look, especially to underneath the eye. You guys can see like how sharp it looks, but at the same time it's kind of diffuse. Much better. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly pop on some of this E.L.F. Volume Plumping Mascara. I really love this stuff so much. I love the brush as well. This is probably one of the favorite brushes that I've ever used for mascara. It is a natural haired or natural bristles. So it's not going to be like the rubbery kind. I hate rubber bristles so much. They just get on my nerves. I can't stand them. So I'm just going to pop this on really quick. Okay, so my eyes are completely done. Now I'm just going to finish up the rest of the face. For my blush, I'm going to be using my Colourpop blush in the shade Aphrodisiac. I mentioned this in one of my more recent videos, where I talked about all of my favorite blushes for the fall time. I love this so much because it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a dusty rose shade that has a little tiny bit of like that orangey reddish brick undertone to it. I love using this so much for basically any type of warm makeup look. I just think it adds so much to the cheeks and it kind of just brings everything together. I love the Colourpop blushes so much because you can really build them up or you can just do a light flush. I typically always use a synthetic brush whenever I'm doing this. This is the Real Techniques buffing brush and I just kind of swirl it in and then apply it to my cheeks. I'm using the Physicians Formula Brick Strip. This is, or the Shimmer Strip, whatever it's called. This is in Vegas Strip for my highlight. I really want my highlight to just be on my cheeks today. I'm not going to be doing any other highlight. This is just going to add a little extra to the look because I don't want to kind of like take away from the eyes. Just a little tiny bit right here. Just so whenever the light catches this area of the face, you can kind of see that beaming through. And then to top off my look, I'm going to be using the NYX Love Out Loud Brilliant Lipstick. This is a cream lipstick and it's in the shade LOL 05 and my mother is calling me. Okay, so I really love this lipstick. I feel like it's a lot more comfortable to wear than the lingerie liquid lipsticks that they have. I'm not sure if it's going to be drying down completely matte, but it reminds me a lot of the Ultra Satin Lips from Colourpop. It's really pigmented. It definitely isn't patchy at all. I would say that the applicator is a little tiny bit flimsy. It kind of bends back and forth a lot. It reminds me of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer applicator. So it's kind of that flat doe foot that's a little bit bendy. This one isn't quite as bendy as that one, but it's still a little bit bendy. So in some areas where I wanted a little bit more of that stiffness to the applicator, I wasn't really getting that, but it's still applied beautifully. It feels really comfortable to wear. If it ends up like getting crepey or anything like that, I will mention that in the description box because I will be wearing this all day, but as of right now, I really like this. Again, this is the Love Out Loud NYX. It just says like cream lipstick, so I'm assuming it's not going to dry down completely matte, but I don't know. It feels kind of like I was saying, the Ultra Satin Lip from Colourpop, and this one is in the LOL 05. So yeah. that completes this makeup look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching. I know that I have been just really digging into the oranges a lot recently, but I've also been trying to kind of branch out. Sorry, like my lashes are sticking together right now. But I've also been trying to kind of branch out and do some more cool looks like I did in my most recent makeup tutorial, which was the kind of like all matte with some teals and some greens and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope that you guys have an amazing day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.